As a creative person, we are always looking for inspiration, but what happens when you are lacking inspiration and you don't know what to create next? Here's my advice on how to spark song ideas if you find yourself in a little bit of a rut. This video is going to be on the shorter side because I have one overall talking point, and that is the best way to spark song ideas is to live your life. Literally, everything around us can be inspiration if we choose to see it that way. Even in the moments when you don't know what to talk about, that is something to talk about. Be honest about how you're feeling. Be honest about where you're sitting in this moment and lean into whatever feeling that is. I know it is very difficult. I understand because I go through it myself, where I don't have the inspiration or the things that I want to write about. I don't feel it, like it doesn't feel authentic for me to try to create something that I'm not in the vibe for. Or on the other hand, I'm kind of tired of being in a certain vibe and I don't want to put that vibe down on a record. You know what I mean? I might be sad, but I just wrote 10 sad songs. I want something that's going to make me feel better, but I don't necessarily know how to get out of this sadness. The thing about art, especially when it comes to music, is it is an extremely emotional thing. It is an extremely spiritual thing. And you have to identify within yourself what you are feeling. And you have to figure out how to communicate that within the music. And a lot of times, if we're trying to avoid certain feelings, that is when we get writer's block, or we start doing things that don't feel natural, or things that aren't necessarily right for us in the moment because it's not authentic. We're trying to force something. The best way to spark a song idea is to use what you have right here, right now, in this moment. Use what you have around you. I remember I wrote a song once about being stuck and not knowing where to go. And the inspiration for that song actually came from being in a room full of writers and with the artist and the engineer, and nobody knew where to take the direction of the song with the production that we had been given. So I leaned into it. And the first line was something about not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do, feeling lost, feeling like I don't have a handle on where things are going. And it turned out to be a really dope record. I don't know if that producer did anything with it. I don't think the artist actually got it, but it turned out to be a really dope record, and it felt authentic because at that time, I really felt like I was in a maze. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to get out of this challenge of not knowing what to write about. Lean into it. What is around you? Take notice of your environment. Can you think of a creative way to describe the posters on the back of your wall? Can you think of a creative way to talk about this one spotlight in front of you? Can you think about a creative way to describe the boredom that you feel, the desire that you have to want to create something, but not knowing what to do, where to go? Or is your environment the problem and do you need to get out of it? Explore that. How do you feel about that? Why do you feel that way? You really have to be in tune and connected with yourself to make some of the best art. And I know for myself, it is very annoying that some of my best work comes from my lowest moments in life. And I had to get to a point where I was writing these sad songs, and in a way, it kind of repeats a cycle because I'm writing about it, I'm speaking about it, I'm singing about it, and that's kind of manifesting it, right? I'm tired of manifesting this feeling. I'm tired of manifesting this experience. How do I inspire other things to happen in my life? If it's the environment, I take myself out of the environment and I go explore. Now, don't worry. I know that as artists, we don't necessarily have the money that we want to be able to experience some of the things that we want to experience. The great news is you don't need money to change your environment. We quite literally have free will. We can just get up and go outside. Get up and get out of this room. Go sit in the bathroom. Go sit in the kitchen. Go sit on the porch. Go sit in the garage. Go sit next to a lake. Go sit on a busy street, Go into nature, go be by the trees and listen to the wind and the birds and feel the cold of the air. It's December right now, so it's cold outside. Feel the cold of the air, feel the bitterness in the wind, and challenge yourself to talk about things you haven't talked about, or to find a way to communicate where you are, what you're sitting in. Like, that's really the overall message and the only piece of advice I have to you on how to spark a song idea. Inspiration is all around you if you would only pay attention, and if you would only challenge yourself or allow yourself to talk about something outside of what you're used to, because that can be a creative block for us, right? We make a certain type of music, we have a certain type of sound, and we box ourselves in because this is what people know me for. And how are people going to react if I'm not making what they're used to hearing from me? That doesn't sound very freeing. That doesn't sound very fun. Art is supposed to be about being yourself freely and openly. It's supposed to be about having fun. Although sometimes the things that we feel are not fun. But like I said, once you realize how spiritual music is, how emotional music is, and you understand the importance of connecting with yourself, going inside yourself to get some of the results that you want, you are going to spark those ideas once you understand the importance of being in tune. And if you're not in tune with yourself, like I said, change your environment, go observe other people, talk about what they're doing, write a song about that. It can be a challenge. It can also be fun. It could also be stretching you if you don't talk about, this thing that you're discovering. If you get outside of your comfort zone, you get outside of your typical environment, you go have some new experiences, you have to reflect on those things. Unless somebody else is writing for you, you as an artist, you have to go out and experience things to have things to talk about. So you don't need to be in the studio 24/7. Why? You need to live life. And then you need to reflect. You need to marinate on those things. And you put it together in concept. Production inspires you. You hear certain instruments that make you think of a time when you went to such and such place and you had this experience, you ate this food, you met this woman, you met this man, you danced, you smelled, you drank, you smoked, like whatever it is, right? Or you sat and you thought. It's a meditation. It's a reflection. It's inner connection. Very spiritual, very emotional. I know some artists don't believe me, but once you understand that, you will never be without inspiration. You will never have writer's block. You got to get outside. You got to live. You got to experience. You got to get in tuned. That's how you spark a song idea. Thank you so much for tuning in to Lex Chat today. I hope this video helped you. And if it did help you, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And in the comment section, let me know what topics you want to chat about next. But until next time, my name is LexC. Peace. All night on this phone. Let's hang it up so you can put it down. We can turn this from a late night call into a meeting where there ain't no talking.